Hey, kia ora whānau, welcome back to Kaitaki Matariki. Man, it's been wet. Whew. Kua pautahu. I've just been tilling this compost pile, as you can see. Look at that lovely soil. Look at that. It's all breaking down, nice colour. Starting to see worms in there. Earlier picks, a couple of months ago, I was chipping some wood that we got from the Team 117 and off this site, and we mulched all that up, and I've just been slowly adding compost in, adding grass clippings in, as you can see there. And what we've got in here is right in the centre. I've gone around and cleaned up some of the feijoas that had fallen down, and I planted in the centre of this compost pile. Whew. And the only issue I'll have with that at the moment is if I use it, there'll probably be seeds in there that'll germinate because it's such a lovely fertile soil. So what I'm actually needing is the sun to shine on it a bit to heat up inside. But the times that I've tipped it over, so this has gone from, started here, moved it here, then went back, and so this is now my fourth till. I'm just rotating around, aerating it, but it's pretty good. Yeah, so I've got to let the sun increase the temperature that's inside of it, and in so doing, hopefully it'll kill the seeds that are dormant inside that compost pile. So that's what I've been working on. As you'll know, I've been working on my worm farms. Whew, man, that was a bit of a hard week, but I've got 17 worm composting systems that I've created, and I just want to show you when I go down in here what they kind of look like. So there's about 100 worms in each of these containers, and how I've done it, and you can follow this on YouTube or other gardening providers. Oh, look at those lovely worms. So I've put some worm bedding down, and it's been made up of some of that compost, some of the existing worm farm, and then I lay it in the bottom, as well as coconut husk. But this has been, I started this in the 20th of March, and that's what we're trying to produce. There's that lovely dark material in there. Let's see if it's a little nosy. So we've got the worms. So here's my tiger worms. So what I do is I'll pick out 100 of those. It's actually a bit more because I tend to do another 10%. So I'll add 110 counted. But then I'll just show you, I'll grab a handful like this out of my bath to inoculate the worm bedding that I've got. I'll actually probably do a little bit more than that. I'll probably do 2 handfuls. Now, I don't see how there's worms in there. I don't count them. I won't count what's in there. So there's 110 plus. Now, these are tiger worms, and have a look over here. Look at that. That is a cocoon. And that is just, I'll see if I can grab it. Oop. There's another one anyway. See that thing there? That little golden looking thing. That's what those tiger worms birth, and I'll show you soon. But those are the eggs. Well, they're not actually eggs, they're cocoons. And inside there, so that's a fresh one, because you can see how it's very lucent, golden. Here's another one over here. See there? Yep, those have been planted. They've been birthed or given seed. I'll see if I can use another one. There's actually quite a few in this. There's two there, another one there, another one there, another one there. So this, another one there. This is looking really good, real healthy. It's a little bit, oh, look at the, ooh-wee. Okay, so here's my tiger worms. These are not garden worms, these are tiger worms, wigglers, and see that there? That's where the eggs are. Got a little clump, and they'll grow. And these are good. These are really good for you watch, it'll dig its way in. It'll hide, doesn't like the light. It'll hide. It'll eat up all this clay that's in here, and there's lots of it. Oh, here's one, here's one. Ooh, this one's a strong one. See that? That little lump there? That's where the egg is, or the inside, and they'll birth it out. Cocoon. Yep, they're eating all this garbage up. Looking pretty good. Pretty good. So I've got 17 of these going on. We're about to deliver this week one of the worm farms I've made for one of the whānau. They've given me the materials, and they said, we don't have any worms, can you make some? And so I'm doing up a bed for them. In fact, I'll show you what that looks like. That's what they're coming. So that's I've got 17 of these running, plus my big one, my big farm. So that's where I get my sourcing from. And I'm just experimenting. Obviously you can see that these trays have got holes in it, too big, so I'm using actually kitty litter trays, just the right size. I have to keep an eye on the moisture, otherwise this happens. See all this stuff here? Worm castings. That is liquid gold. Well, it's not liquid gold, it is poo gold. that gardens like, and we as organic growers love to see permaculture going on. Worm castings. So the beauty part about this is we get worms out of it, we get worm castings out of it, we get worm juice out of it, wainoke. We also get more beds, and we're creating these composting systems that people can, if you want one, just hook us up and we'll see what we can do for you. But each one of these are individual systems that can be used at people's homes and create a composting, and it can be anything. It can be like this bath here, as you can see in here. I've got all my scraps in there. It can be, I was given this system down here by someone, and I'm just building that up. And let's take that off, and that's what she looks like under there. It's got a bit more harder materials, but if I dug around a bit and showed you, look, see this soil? Look at that. So now I've just got another system, and as long as they're eating all this up, they'll poop out all this black dirt, which is their poop, all that lovely stuff that you see in there, and eventually they'll eat all this carbon, and they'll eat all the nitrogen, not nitrogen, greens, eat all that up, and they poop it out, and you've just closed the cycle. There's a cycle of feeding and looking after the soil, and in here is juice. So see this juice come out? That's black stuff. I've got juice over there. Fertilise the garden. So anyway, this is what we're doing to help build the health of our garden. Is creating composting systems, and each one of these can be a home somewhere where they have a container, and you could get a bucket like that, put holes in the bucket, put holes at the bottom, put your worm bedding in the bottom, chuck in a tray of that, and then you just start adding your food waste that you accumulate in your whare. Not meat, of course, because that'll attract the rodents, but any tub or bucket or bath. I'll show you what I've done in here. I've done similar. These are around inside ones. There's an old container here. See? Now we've got these seedlings coming through, but all you do is just mix it up and break it back down, and the worms will eat it. Look at that, it's rich. Yeah, when we come to, these are actually nearly ready to send off to people's homes. We're going to run a workshop soon, and I'll let you know about that, of here in Northland. We're going to run a composting system, teach people how to look after their worms. We've been doing it for 3 years now in our bath, and so now we've got 17 of these, and this is an example of I'm using cat litters. Keeps it, if it gets too moist, I just add a bit of coconut husk in there, some seed bank. Anyway, that's what we're doing. That's what I've been doing today. It's just looking after the soil. As you can see, a bit of a nursery going on here. Here's my garlic, ginger, strawberries that we've created off the runners, so we've got some more of those. Nico, I've sprayed these with garlic fertilizer. I'm trying to deal with the aphids. In fact, hey, I only sprayed these this morning, and it looks like, oh no, there's still some on there. There's still some on that one, but could be going. I'm just trialing that out. Kawa, harakeke, haki, yeah. So I'm an organic grower, in the process of getting verified as a huapare kore, backyard gardener. And the one thing that's the big pain in my rear end is them snails and slugs that come along. So I'm just trying to figure out ways. One of the possible reasonings is to see how green it is. Yeah, I've been watching some other places, and they either bark out in the garden. I've I've got too many places where the worms, the snails and the bugs like to hide. And so I'm just trying to think of creative ways of organically spraying them. So it comes back to husbandry and looking after it. But this year, the success really for me has been this autumn. It's been the nursery. So if you're following us in regards to our papakainga, one of the things I'm wanting to do is create a garden space that allows reconciliation, it allows healing and restoration, whanaungatanga, building our capabilities around Ngongoa Māori, around tikanga and kawa in regards to food security and sustainability. And so I'm gifting all this to our papakainga. There are some things that we're wanting to do in regards to like water storage and thinking of ways of being creative around that. But eventually all these will get planted out on the papakainga. Some will get planted around here. Like you've noticed that all this rain that's come, this banana tree has grown heaps and it's also given us some pups. So we've got a few more pups in here. I'm going to probably harvest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pups. I'll leave this pup here and I will pop those out and grow them. Because that baby there, I'm expecting this next season that's going to produce. And so we have now placed, sorry about the sun, banana there. And there's the pup that's coming through there, just 2. And the one that was here, I've placed over here. And that's going to get massive feeds because it'll just start taking all the good kai nutrients that are coming from that compost pile, and I'll feed that one. And so once we get chickens in here, there's going to be a bit of a coverage for these. They'll provide shade for them. There's this canopy that's starting to grow. I've got to prune that back a bit. It's getting a bit too high. So here's my kumara. I'll have a nosy. I'll do that another date. I'll show you my kumara. But honey, te huarako. Oh, that just fell off. And that also. Oh, so did that one. Hika. Look at those ones up there. Now, I'm going to tapahia te rākau. I'm going to chop this rākau because it's too high, can't reach. Man, oh, got a spider crawling over my face. Titiro. Right there. Yeah. Oh yeah, look, that's our garden stuff. That's what we're up to. I got ngā tonight. Got our team together working to that. Man, that spider's got webs all over me. But yeah, really happy with our Fijos this year. Really good size. Feeding them. Okay, whānau. We're coming into winter, so everything's going to slow down. Everything's going to cool down, probably get wet. So our process now is thinking about getting in our winter crops before it gets too cold. Things like your beetroot, your radishes, your broccolis. If you've got a glass house or that type of thing, you can start growing some off-seasonal stuff in there, like your tomatoes. But as we head towards the close of the Maramataka, as we come to the end of Mahuru, we're going to end up towards Matariki, and that whole process of reset, starting new, planning for the future, the next year, thinking about, reflecting on what went well, what didn't go well for you. So it can be a process of self-reflection, reflecting as a whānau, reflecting as an organisation, reflecting as a practitioner, what the next phase would look like for you. So as we consider Matariki disappears soon and re-emerges in July, we're planning about what the next year could look like. So I'm doing some funding applications for different things for our garden. I'm thinking about storage, like I'll harvest this. I'll do a little bit of harvest on this side, but last year I actually left this here and came to re-prepare my tāpapa for planting, and I had all this kumara in here, so I actually had, right at the end of winter, I had all this kai. But there's my winter kumara sitting in there. We've got some beans growing over here. But yeah, whānau, waiti, waita, all those elements of tupurangi, tupunuku. We're thinking about what can grow on the land, what can grow in the trees, what can grow in the water, how we look after those resources. And that's why we're starting to talk about our worm farms a lot, because that's a real integrated, crucial part of soil health for us. And now whānau is starting to, I've actually been approached by a supermarket of a gardening centre in Whangarei, whether or not I provide worms for their customers. They have the materials like the worm systems, but they don't necessarily have worms. So we're just scoping that idea out, and just seeing what the market's like for that, and that could be something that we do. We're doing it anyway, so yeah. Anyway, hei kona. If you're around next month, 15th through the 17th, we're running a wānanga called Ringaropa Hauora Wānanga, and we've got some 4 practitioners coming up and sharing with us around well-being and wellness, whether it's rongo Māori, whether it's musical instruments, whether it's kawa balm, pottery, and I'll be talking about hua parekore on our papakainga. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Thank you if you've stayed along stayed on for this length of time. I kind of just natter around with what I'm doing. But yeah, hey, if you want me to talk about something, or if you want me to show you something that we're doing, yeah, just click the like button, click the share button, and send us a message, and we can have a chat. If there are areas that you're interested in, and you like have some kōrero about that, then that's awesome too. And if there are skills that you can bring and you want to come and spend some time with us, no mai haere mai. Haere mai ki te mara. Haere mai ki te mahinga kai. I te tai tokorau. Alright, anyway, hei kona. God bless.